There is a magic place nestled within the peaceful hills of Friuli Venezia Giulia, a place which for centuries has been able to please the taste buds of the whole world. That place is San Daniele, the ideal and virtually unique place to enable Italy's famous cured ham, prosciutto, to mature. The delicate and unmistakable taste of San Daniele ham is the way it is because San Daniele is where it is. Our cured ham is the result of a happy blend of factors which are based on an ancient Celtic and then later Roman tradition of conserving meat. It is directly from the fresh legs of pork or haunches, all guaranteed DOP, that is, from one of the 11 recognised areas of northern and central Italy, that the long journey begins. A journey which lasts well over a year and which finally transforms the fresh haunches into genuine, certified San Daniele ham. And still today, the preparation of our prosciutto is carried out by traditional means, while naturally respecting the most modern hygiene standards set by European law. Trimming is sometimes necessary to correct any imperfections in the cutting carried out in the abattoir, and to identify possible traces of clotting or bruising which might lie under the skin. In order to earn the valued DOP recognition, the legs of pork delivered into the production process must not weigh less than 12 kilos and must always conform to the strict health and hygiene standards imposed and overseen by the Consorzio. It is only after these controls and checks that the skin can be given its special DOT brand, a brand that indicates the beginning of the transformation process and which remains visible throughout. A series of signs impressed upon the outer skin complete the process of identifying each ham. The haunches are now separated according to weight, laid upon special shelving and left to acclimatise for 24 hours at a temperature of between -1 and +3 degrees, and with controlled humidity between 85 and 90%, before the salting process begins. The salting of San Daniele ham is carried out naturally and follows the golden rule which declares that the leg must remain under salt for 1 day for every kilo of weight. The haunches are covered with salt ad libitum, that is, with no pre-specified quantity, which is then carefully spread by hand. The salt used in this process is exclusively Italian sea salt, prepared with medium fine grains and high relative humidity. It is wholly without additives, as this is forbidden by DOP rules. The recognised practice establishes that the pork haunches must be laid horizontally in a special environment, known as of the first salting, and kept at a constant temperature of between -1 and +4 degrees, with 90% humidity. Towards the midway stage in this operation, the work is repeated. This involves removing the remaining salt from the outside surface of the haunch and then massaging it with a special vibrating machine. To ensure the removal of every remaining trace of liquid from within the main femoral artery, special manual pressure is exerted on the haunch. San Daniele ham can be recognised not only by its characteristic aroma, but also because of its typical guitar shape, which makes it unique and clearly recognisable at first sight. This highly original form is the result of the pressing stage, a phase typical of the production of San Daniele ham, and which further encourages the penetration of the salt. And still today, this process is carried out as it once was, without the use of hydraulic presses. The transformation from leg of pork into DOP San Daniele Prosciutto continues, with the haunch being returned to the first salt room to complete its period of rest, under the same conditions of temperature and humidity as before. After pressing, the haunches are hung for some 70 days in special cells with careful environmental controls, passing from 4 to 6 degrees to 7 to 9 degrees centigrade, with a variable humidity of from 70 to 85%. In this phase of curing, the hams are trimmed, after which the protruding section of the bone, caused by the reduction in the volume of the haunch, is removed, while some of the meat is also removed to enable more internal humidity to leave during the later phases. The next step is the refreshing phase and rinsing the haunch. Drying and pre-maturing are complementary steps and completes the delicate process of controlled dehydration and preparation for maturing, which takes place during a carefully balanced passage from temperature-controlled environments to a natural temperature. The haunches remain in pre-maturing for 35 to 40 days, with increasing drawing times. And after so much work, finally, a well-deserved rest. Yes, because it is especially through rest that all the characteristics which give San Daniele ham its unique taste are awakened. The hill of San Daniele is morainic and not far from the foothills of the pre-alpine mountains, and is washed along its base by the waters of the river Tagliamento. Cold air from the north, warm air from the Adriatic, united by the river flow, create natural air conditioning. This gentle but consistent breeze makes San Daniele the classical textbook example of the ideal conditions for maturing prosciutto. And it is through these banks of windows that this special air, which makes San Daniele's perfect microclimate, can enter the rooms dedicated to natural maturing. When the pre-maturing phase is over, the hams are laid out in large, well-ventilated rooms for final curing, where they remain for some 8 months. Within these rooms, normally towards the 7th month from the beginning of the whole process, a first light larding is carried out. This is repeated after the 8th month. The lard is a mixture of lard, salt, pepper and flour, and is spread by hand over the exposed surface at the flat end of the haunch. This is done to protect and soften the exposed surface. It guarantees the process of osmosis between the body of the muscle and the external environment. The nature of the climatic conditions within the curing room is controlled by opening the numerous windows and depends on the outside weather conditions. It is for this reason that the hams are moved periodically to other curing rooms. In the final, delicate stage, daily checks are carried out within the rooms. With reference to this, since 1998, San Daniele has applied the standards laid down by the INEQ Institute. Inspectors from the INEQ visit the curing rooms on a daily basis to check on the progress of the maturing process by means of so-called boring, which involves inserting a fine horsebone needle into the ham. This boring is carried out on the femoral artery and can detect either the classic aromas of San Daniele Prosciutto or any traces of possible defects. After these checks, the supervisors from the consortio are informed about the condition of the cured ham. Once the perfect condition of the ham is ascertained, and after at least 12 months, the skin is branded with the symbol of the consortio and the identification number of the producer. The prosciutto, now that the production cycle has been successfully completed, can be boned and packed whole or in sections, or it can be sliced, but only within the area of production, and sold in modified atmosphere packaging. Authenticity, tradition and guaranteed quality, as well as heritage and harmony, are all confirmed by the brand on each and every San Daniele ham, nurtured in our San Daniele air which brings celebration to the taste buds of the world.